Welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to use social media to connect with your potential students. We've talked before this about where to find your students or your students and their parents on social media, your potential clients. But now we're going to talk about what to do once you find them. So I told you these before, but I think they are worth repeating. And as of 2019, 82% of people from 30 to 49 use some kind of social media. 70% of US adults use Facebook, 73% use YouTube, and 37% use Instagram. So you're able to find a lot of, most of, maybe all of your potential clients somewhere in the social media world. You just have to know who they are and what to say to them when you find them. So that's the question, but how, though? So if you know where they are, how do you reach them? The first thing I want to talk about is how to behave in a Facebook group. This is different depending on what the Facebook group is and when and why you joined it. You may be already part of a community on Facebook and be able to say to them, hey, people I've known for years, this is what I'm doing now. This is a service I'm offering. And that may be very natural. You may have joined these groups because your children have similar needs to these other families' children. And so that's how you know them. And then it's more like interacting with a community of friends or parents in your kids' school, that kind of thing. But if you join Facebook groups for the purpose of marketing your services, you have to be a little bit more careful and be a little more careful about the Facebook group etiquette. First of all, every group has rules about what they allow to be posted. For example, in my online Orton Gillingham tutor Facebook group, I don't allow any posts seeking a tutor or offering tutoring services. That's just not the purpose of the group. And if I find those posts, I remove them. And if the person is otherwise a member in good standing of the community, I warn them and they are allowed to stay in the group. And if they have joined the group and just started posting about their services, I don't spend time on that. I delete the post and I remove the person. So if you join a group and don't follow the rules, be prepared to be removed from that group and to lose your opportunity to talk to that audience. Your general role when you join a Facebook group is to be helpful and try not to annoy people. So you're there to give genuine, honest answers to their questions. People will notice if every time you post, it's to say, I can help you with that. I'm a tutor. So try to offer more general advice. Do things like recommend books or software that you like, or talk about maybe a strategy a parent could try at home if it answers their question. Your tutoring services are not going to be the answer to every question, but that doesn't mean you should only answer questions that you can answer with, I'm a tutor. Third, join groups where you belong. A lot of tutors tutor students who are homeschooled. But a lot of homeschool groups do not welcome people who do not have children that they're homeschooling into the group. For years, I was not a member of those groups. And then as my son got closer to school age, I joined some because honestly, it is an option we're considering for him. So it's not a lie when I say I have a child I'm preparing to homeschool. And in the course of those conversations and learning from those people about the way that they teach their children, if in the course of those conversations I learn that someone is also looking for a tutor, I can talk about that. I'm already part of that group. It looks off and it will be quickly noticed if you join a group that has nothing to do with you and you're not the intended audience and you join it just to talk about your tutoring services. I'll use my group as an example again. Every once in a while, someone tries to join the group, and when I look at the other groups that they're in or I look at the answers to their questions, all they do is marketing. So No, thank you. I don't want someone who's just interested in marketing in my Facebook group. You will get nothing from the group and you don't belong there. So admins of groups should be pretty mindful of who they let into the group. And so you might get screened out right away, or you may be removed from the group if you're not there for the right reasons. There are some find a tutor or find an online tutor groups on Facebook, but I don't find them to be a good use of your time. They tend to be full of tutors who are just marketing over and over and over again. There's not a lot of content. I don't find it to be the kind of group where people come and hang out and ask questions. It becomes a dumping ground for tutors advertising. And every once in a while, a parent will post in those groups looking for a tutor, but they are flooded by offers from tutors all over the world offering things that are like what they asked for and not like what they asked for. And I think parents rarely look for a tutor that way because they would rather have a personal recommendation or a tutor that they know something about. So those groups exist. It doesn't hurt. I used to belong to a couple of them, and I quickly found that posting in them did not get me clients, and it didn't get me the kind of inquiries that I wanted to build my business. So I've left those groups. I also showed you in a previous video how to build your own Facebook business page. And think of this as your front door on the internet, or on Facebook at least. So this is the link that you're going to send to people on Facebook if they ask about your services. This is the link that might come up in search or come up in related pages when people are looking for a tutor or looking for something similar. And this is the page that is going to be linked to your profile, and your friends and family and colleagues are going to see this. This is going to be kind of like your digital business card. So it's worth having a page. I no longer accept messages on mine because the messages I was receiving were not leading to paying clients. So I turned off messaging on my Facebook page so I didn't have to spend time answering those. And instead, I made sure that my business phone number and my web address are both posted on the page. And you want to produce some kind of content that leads people to follow your page and that hopefully gets people liking and sharing your posts so that other people will see them. The Facebook algorithm causes people to only see in their Facebook feed a limited amount of information, and the information that Facebook chooses to show to people is content that is trending, that other people are talking about, commenting, sharing. And so it's not easy to create that content, but also when a client finds you, if they look at your Facebook page and it's like got a phone number and an email address and it's otherwise a ghost town, they're not going to know if you're still in business. They're not going to know if you are a serious professional tutor or if you put up that page one May hoping to get some clients for the summer and haven't touched it since. So it pays to put some content on your Facebook page. But what? So some things that you can post to your page include your flyer. So this could just show what you offer, when you do it, how you work. This can be the same flyer you use in print for putting on bulletin boards, or the same one you email to colleagues and ask them to share. You can do some about me posts. This is your opportunity to introduce yourself, talk about how you became a tutor, share a funny story. Any of those little bits of personal information that help parents feel like they know you and want to work more with you. You can also include recommendations on your Facebook page. If you have a book or a movie or an app or a local place to visit that you think your potential clients would benefit from, it's a great idea to share it and share a link to that. You can share news items that are relevant to students and what you do. If you are a test prep tutor, you can share updates about the SAT and ACT. If you are a math tutor, you can share news about math competitions or the spelling bee or anything that comes up in the world that is interesting to you because of what you do. You can also try to engage your audience by asking questions. So these can be simple yes or no or multiple choice questions. So if you could go anywhere on vacation, where would you go? Or what's the last book you finished? Or what was your favorite book when you were in third grade? Things to just kind of get people chatting. And if you can get people to comment, then more people will see your post. And then finally, you can post an offer. So if you are running a promotion, like in the summer, sometimes I do schedule so many weeks of tutoring and get a free session, a refer a friend promotion, a webinar that you're promoting, or sometimes tutors will run like a free reading assessment to try to bring in clients. Any of those things that you're running can and should go on your Facebook business page. Beyond Facebook, if there is social media for everyone out there. So there are all kinds of special interest sites that you can take or leave. You don't have to be involved in every single one of them. But there are so many different options. So TikTok is all short videos. It's a lot of teenagers dancing, learning dances from each other. But there are also a lot of really great funny videos and short informational videos that people are putting out. And if TikTok is something that you're already interested in, you might find a way to use it for tutoring tidbits. Twitter, like Facebook, you can share links, you can write funny comments, you can share information. Twitter is a very different feel from Facebook, and it's like a pace I don't quite get and sync up with. So I've stopped sharing my content to Twitter because my brother was the only one retweeting it. And I've just decided that my time is better spent on Facebook because that's a place I enjoy checking in and engaging with people. And Twitter wasn't really a place I enjoyed being or felt comfortable. So I stopped spending my time there. Snapchat, I don't really know what it is, but the kids love it. Twitch. I spoke about Twitch in another video. It is designed for live streaming video games. So people sit there with their screen sharing on and other people watch them play games and comment and they chat. Twitch has also expanded to some educational content. So I've tuned in and listened to a storyteller. I've listened to somebody knit and explain what she was working on. I've listened to people having a talk show with interviews. So there's a lot of possibilities on Twitch. And if you can think of some engaging content that you could regularly share with an audience, you may want to set up there. Instagram is a very visual social media site. So yes, there's written content, but there is a lot of photography and a lot of art, video. So it's owned by the same people that own Facebook. So some things are similar. I know a tutor who has been very successful in finding her people on Instagram, posting inspirational sayings and little reminders. But it's not something that I have gotten into personally. And then finally, Pinterest. I do pin all my content to Pinterest, my blog content, my videos, and I do get a small but steady stream of traffic to my website. So Pinterest can be time consuming, and there can be a lot to learn as far as getting the timing right for your pins and how often to repin things and when to share content of your own and when to share other people's. There can be a lot to learn there. But if you're already using Pinterest for recipes and party ideas and all that stuff, you may want to also add your tutoring stuff. And then finally, this is an area that I haven't really explored, but it seems really cool. You can develop what they call skills for Alexa, and those are quick little informational pieces of content. And so Alexa is the smart speaker, or I guess the personality of the smart speaker. So these skills are things that would answer a question that someone would verbally ask Alexa. So if you have a content area with a lot of little factoids and you feel like you could break those down and share some with your students, creating Alexa skills might be a great way to reach a new audience. So as you can see, social media and technology is this huge area where you can reach so many different kinds of people and with so many different kinds of content. And for that reason, it can be pretty overwhelming. So my recommendation is to start small. For the purpose of this module, by the end of the module, I want you to pick three. Pick three places that you are going to build your online presence. The reason I say three is if you just have a Facebook business page and a blog, those don't always drive a lot of interaction at first. If you have something like a Facebook group that you're going to join and communicate as part of, that can kind of be a quicker way to build up some interactions. And I think it's just always good to have more than a couple ways to reach new clients. So out of this list, if there's anything that appeals to you, jot it down on the worksheet, or we'll talk down the road about how to use a website and how to use content marketing to also reach a new audience. So save some spaces. If these don't appeal to you, just hang in there because we're going to talk about some other ways in the next couple of lessons.